Let's just start with this title because, wow, the man who died for a faith he didn't have. How is that even possible? How can you give your life for something you don't fully believe in? Well, today we're diving into one of Dostoevsky's most fascinating characters to figure that out.
And this really is the question at the heart of it all. It's not just some abstract philosophical puzzle. It's deeply, deeply human. Can your struggle, your sincere effort to believe, be so powerful that you'd make the ultimate sacrifice for it, even when your mind is still screaming with doubt? All right, let's meet the guy at the center of this storm, Ivan Shatov. Dostoevsky describes him as kind of clumsy, quiet, and a bit gloomy. But his eyes, they burn with this restless, fiery energy. And that's a perfect picture of his inner world. This is a man fighting a permanent civil war, not against some army, but against himself.
To really get a handle on this internal war, we have to start with his mind. You see, Shatov used to be a die-hard socialist, a true believer in the revolution. But then he went through this massive spiritual crisis and turned his back on all of it. The thing is, it wasn't a clean break. It was more like his entire worldview just shattered into a million pieces.
So on one side of this battlefield in his head, you've still got the old him, the guy with the sharp, logical mind who can argue any point into the ground. But on the other side, there's this new, passionate, all-consuming idea of a God-bearing Russia. This belief that his people are destined to save the world. The problem? His intellect totally sprinted ahead, but his soul, his actual gut-level faith, is lagging way behind, desperately trying to catch up.
And Shatov himself says it best, this quote, "It's not just some clever turn of phrase, it's the agonizing sound of a man who is well and truly trapped. He's created this perfect logical loop. He can't believe in God until he believes in his people, and he can't believe in his people until he believes in God. He's stuck, paralyzed."
Now, this war isn't just a battle of ideas in his head. Nope, it's raging inside his heart too. Shatov's emotions are just as conflicted as his mind, making him this walking bundle of contradictions. He can be explosive and raw one minute, and then profoundly tender the next.
First, you get the violence. In this one shocking scene, he literally slaps his old mentor, Stavrogin. But it's not out of personal hatred. It's this raw, explosive rage because he feels Stavrogin betrayed a sacred ideal. It's the conviction of a true zealot, even if the faith fueling it is still under construction.
But then you get whiplash. His wife, Marie, who had left him, suddenly returns. And not just that, she's pregnant with another man's child, Stavrogin's child, of all people. Shatov's reaction? Not anger, not jealousy, just instant, unconditional forgiveness. That explosive fury is gone, replaced by this awkward, touching devotion.
And this moment, this is incredible. When the baby is born, Shatov holds it like it's an actual miracle. This child, which is literally a symbol of his wife's infidelity, becomes this source of sacred, overwhelming joy for him. It's like, in this moment, that abstract idea of a God-bearing Russia becomes real, tangible, and alive in his arms. He's completely overcome.
And yet, even here, in this moment of pure joy holding this new life, the civil war is still raging. He's weeping over the cradle, and in the very same breath, he confesses he still doesn't truly know if God exists. His tenderness and his doubt are just completely inseparable.
This internal conflict, it doesn't just stay inside him. It has deadly, real-world consequences. Shatov has abandoned his old revolutionary comrades, but he hasn't found solid ground in his new beliefs yet. He's caught in a spiritual no-man's land, and that makes him a target.
His end is just brutal and chillingly procedural. His former revolutionary cell tricks him, lures him to a secluded park. They execute him for refusing to renounce the very faith he's still fighting to fully find. It's not a crime of passion. It's a cold, calculated hit. It's the revolution devouring one of its own kids who was just trying to find his way home.
So why are we talking about this guy from a 19th century novel? Because Shatov's struggle is painfully, universally recognizable. His internal war is timeless because it's our war too. I mean, who among us hasn't wrestled with what we believe, with our doubts, with our own identity?
Think about it. He's every activist who woke up one day and realized the slogans were empty. He's every recovering addict who champions sobriety while their own hands are still shaking. He represents that terrifying but also thrilling moment when our conviction, our deep need to believe in something, finally sprints ahead of our certainty.
As he's dying, Shatov whispers his final words. "Stavrogen, it was you." At first glance, it sounds like an accusation, like he's blaming him. But with Shatov, nothing is ever that simple. It's not about blame. It's about heartbreak. Stavrogen was the source of the whole idea, the ideal that Shatov tried to live and die for. And in his final moments, Shatov realizes that the man who gave him the blueprint for his faith was himself faithless. It's the ultimate tragedy. The convert dies for an ideal that was betrayed by its own creator. Which leaves us with this one last big thought. Shatov never finished his conversion. His faith was a mess. It was incomplete, contradictory, but in all that clumsy, bleeding sincerity, was he somehow more sacred, more holy than someone with a neat, tidy, unquestioning faith? It's a question worth sitting with.